Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites. How we doing today on this Friday? Thank you, Barry, for kicking off the contributions. I greatly appreciate it. So we are going to kind of jump right into it because recently, y'all remember the whole dust up with Arie, right? And her basically speaking out to say that, hold on, I hate when it want to be loose. Anyway, and her speaking out that what Janelle Monáe and what Meg Thee Stallion was doing at Essence was out of context. It was out of place, because that is not what the Essence Fest is about. Twerking and all this other stuff. So, they took that out of context. And she came back and she sort of clarified what she was really saying, which she shouldn't have had to do. I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have came back and explained nothing to these knucklehead hyenas. I wouldn't have came back and clarified nothing, because what she said, no, she didn't back down. Arie did not back down. She said what she said. And her clarification, I didn't see that as a backing off of what she meant. She just went more into depth about what she was talking about. Thank you, Tommy. Said, keep cooking. Keep cooking, beloved. Don't stop. I will not. Thank you so very much. I wouldn't have came back and said nothing to them knuckleheads. I'm telling you one thing about a hyena. I'm going to tell you something about a hyena. Not about 80% of the arguments that a hyena get into with anybody, whether it be online, whether it be in person, do y'all want me to tell you what's behind them arguments a lot of times? About 80% of the time. Put a one in the chat you want me to tell you. About 80% of the time, a hyena done got into it because they do not comprehend English. I'm telling you, they don't understand nothing that nobody is saying. That comprehension is kicking their tail, baby. I'm telling you, they don't know what nothing mean. They don't know what words mean. They don't understand intent. They don't understand nuance. They can't get context clues or nothing. When we was in grammar school, we learned about context clues. Do y'all remember context clues? You have something in a sentence, and there may be a word that you are unfamiliar with. Well, the teacher used to say, well, this is where you use context clues. You utilize the rest of the words in the sentence to try to get an understanding about what this word means. And I'm telling you, these hyenas don't know nothing about all that. They don't understand nothing about context. They don't understand anything about anything. When you really get to talking to these chicks, these women these hyenas out here is plain out dumb. They dumb. That's where a lot of this hostility is coming from. When you got to go through the world stupid, and you come to slowly understand that you're stupid, that you're the one that's stupid, not everybody else like you thought. You know, that may cause a little bit of an internal, you know what I'm saying? You feel away because you stupid. And you don't know how to cure that. And you're too ornery to take instruction. So you're stupid and you're hard-headed. You're stupid. You done realize that you are stupid. There's a lot of stuff you don't know. There's a lot of common things that you should know that you don't know. Because there's a lot of stuff that everybody don't know, right? Nobody knows everything. It's always something you can learn. It's always something you don't know. That's fine. But there's a difference between not knowing things that's maybe not in your wheelhouse, but common things. Common knowledge, not common sense, common knowledge. And you realize you don't have that. That there are a lot of simple concepts that go right over you, And you start realizing that outside of your circle of people that talk like you do, yes, and all that, outside of that, you don't understand what nobody is talking about. And you may get a little bit of hostility about this. And then you're too egotistical. You're too proud. Okay, it's nothing worse, no worse a combination than stupid and proud. How you stupid and prideful? I don't get it. How you dumb and haughty at the same time? I don't get that. How you silly and ornery? Thank you, Southside Malicious at Cole. You stupid. Exactly. So if I was India Arie, I wouldn't have came back and explained nothing. Because they're not going to get it anyway. The people that got it. And the people that didn't. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a little bit of her clip. And she's not going in so much as because India don't really be yelling and screaming and all that kind of stuff. She's really talking rather calmly. But she's gonna say a few things that are rather important to what I want to speak on and talk about today. Thank you, B989. Said new subscriber here. Finally caught you live. Thanks for your knowledge. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you. And welcome as a new subscriber. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a listen to India. I'm going to mute parts of it when she show the twerking and all that because of the music, and you know YouTube been tripping lately. So I'm gonna show it to you, but I want y'all to listen to the things that she's actually saying, because she's actually dropping a few gems, and people don't be getting nothing. People don't get nothing. I'm telling you, man, people getting dumber and dumber about a dang on day.
Hey, y'all. There's a saying, the lie makes it around the world before the truth gets out of bed. Social media blending with the news has created this thing where they make stories just to get clicks. So they made it look like my story was, I have harsh words for Janelle Monáe and Meg Thee Stallion, and I do not. If I were addressing Janelle Monáe and Meg Thee Stallion, that would have been clear. The concept that anytime a woman says anything, even in the vicinity of another woman, she's being catty and she's fighting. And so now we got this headline about what I supposedly did. Who I was addressing were the people in the comments, explaining to them that the video in question, not Meg Thee Stallion, not Janelle, but the video in question was out of context for the Essence Festival. The 53-year-old institution that was always about wholesome Black entertainment. The brand shifted right under people's feet. That's what I meant when I said context. What I did was jump into the comment section, and in fact, in defense of someone who's in the comment section trying to explain her trust of Essence brand being broken, I commented about the context. That's what I did. We all know everybody twerks. Everybody knows who Meg Thee Stallion is. She's one of the biggest stars in the world, and so is Janelle. Everybody knows what they're about and what they do. We weren't saying that they shouldn't do what they do. We were saying context, which is what my message said. The part that really is important that people should know is that the Essence Festival was purchased. And so the new owners are trying to take it in a different direction, and they are. And the rub is that people weren't told that. So now everybody's buying their tickets to go enjoy their weekend down in New Orleans in July like they've been doing for the last 20, 25 years. And this moment happens on stage. The context is weird. The context is making people uncomfortable. I have a lot more to say about people talking about policing women's bodies and respectability politics. I have a lot to say about both of those things. And while I feel that I'm a person who has earned the benefit of the doubt, and if you see me make a comment, you can read it with the tone of love. What I am realizing is that sometimes it's just the weather outside. That's what social media is. It's the tone in the air. It captures the tone in the air. So since everybody's arguing, you imagine that I'm arguing too. And so since everybody's trying to police Black women's bodies, you imagine that's what I'm about too. And so because everybody is trying to put people in these boxes, you imagine that's what I'm about too. That's not what I'm about. I've always told you what I'm about. For the last 20 plus years, my whole adult life, I've been nothing but uplifting and deeply caring and deeply loving and speaking highly of us as Black people always. I released the song Brown Skin, 18 years before Brown Skin Girl? I've been about this. I'm still about this. I love us. I have my opinions about things that may differ from other people, but I don't be out here arguing with people. I speak my mind, I share my ideas, but I've always done that. And I'm always going to. So anybody who thinks that I don't even have the right to speak, we disagree off the top right there. So I'm always gonna speak my mind. Always have, I always will. Now, what these blogs are saying I did, I can't stop them, which is so annoying that people be out here lying like they do and using other people's energy to create stuff for themselves. And while I cannot stop you from doing it, I'm making this video just to clear up one piece of this. Now we're clear. We'll get clear on the rest another time. Yeah, I love y'all, but I don't be liking all y'all. Bye. Hey, y'all.
Okay. So let me get to these super chats and then we can get right into it. Thank you. Act like you want, when you want, how you want. Then when somebody checks you, then black men should protect like a pit bull. I say no, no. I say no right along with you. Thank you so much. Kashinsky said, these hyenas are dead game. There's no saving them, brother. Seek God, your health, and get on your purpose because these females are finished. That is true. Thank you, Gregory Scotland says, salute to you, Crimson in India, speaking sensible and focusing on reality. It's a shame that Dr. Umar and others still make excuses for black women, even with twerking or being erased by Tea Party entities. Exactly. Exactly. Like I said, I disagree with the sentiment that she backtracked on what she said the first time. She didn't backtrack on what she said. I didn't hear her backtrack. I didn't hear her say that it wasn't about context. Context was in big bold letters in the very first thing that she said. Thank you, Rodney. I love sis. I had to check out after the fresh and fit Nick show. You say white supremacy comes in different colors, but when you see it, well, it hit different. All right. Thank you so much. I don't agree that she backtracked. What we witnessed was a lioness actually standing. Or maybe I don't know. I don't know if I want to use the word lioness. What we witnessed was a woman with class address something in a classy way. That's what we just witnessed. Because I think we so used to black women going ham and getting loud and snatching dreams out the air when they checking somebody. She stood on it. She stood on it just as calmly the second time as she did the first time. And I've never really seen India come out of that character. I've never really seen her do anything other than that. India actually stays pretty quiet. She say what she says. She may make a post here and there about something, but she's not always in your face saying this, saying that. So I can get with that part of it because India is not always in some type of drama and in some type of mess. India carries herself the way I thought Erykah Badu would carry herself over the years. And Erykah went right on into thought land publicly. And India didn't carry that public image. Anyways, that was just a side note. But thank you so much for the super sticker. Stephen, thank you so much, sweetheart. I greatly appreciate you. So I thank you very much for that. Thank you so much. Black Kennedy says Addie using black women to lead the charge straight to hell. Exactly. Exactly. She said quite a few things that I want to point out. Okay. First of all, black women are Black women are still being paid to be out of order. Y'all are still being paid to be out of order. Still doing it. Now, see, it was very key that she mentioned that Essence, as well as its festival, had been purchased by a different entity. We all know who. And almost immediately, the vibe of the Essence Fest devolved right on into booty popping, thought pocket popping, and shout out to Pink Book Lessons Magic City Uniform Academy. They went right into that. Black women still cannot understand or refuse to understand the agenda that is being played out now directly in front of them without any filter or without any obscurity. There's no confusion. It's not covert. None of that. Right in front of you, a Black organization, company, conglomerate that has been hosting a festival for about 30 years, that has been known to be family friendly, to be friendly to different generations. And yeah, it's been mostly women to patronize the Essence Fest and all of that type of stuff. It's got its thing going on with the whole feminism thing. I get that part. But all in all, the Essence Fest vibe has been sort of upper echelon, a little bit more classy, focus more on the talent, focus more on the you know what I'm saying? Just the vibe was just a cool, laid back, okay, we really, enjoying this entertainment. Your grandma going there to see Frankie Beverly and Maze. Okay. They gonna go there to try to see if Maxwell is performing and, and all of that. It's a music festival to cater to that crowd, to cater to that, wanting to hear that type of music and stuff like that. Whoever, ain't nobody stopped Megan Thee Stallion's money. She did act like that at the Country Music Awards, but we ain't gonna talk about all that. Ain't nobody stopped her tour. Ain't nobody stopped Janelle Monáe touring. If you want to buy tickets and all that kind of stuff and see them booty pop, you can certainly do so. You can do that. But Black women still have not understood where you are. The agenda. It was supposed to be about the excellence of Black entertainment and celebrating that. And notice how, as soon as it got under the power and the jurisdiction of someone else, it devolved right into that mainstream, and y'all buying right into booty popping is Black excellence. How can you be so stupid? Sometimes I wonder, how can you be so lost? I didn't know that there was such a degree of lostness as it really is. Y'all are still drinking the Kool-Aid. Let me get into y'all. Y'all are still drinking the Kool-Aid that being an open whore is somehow empowering and wonderful. And this is the way it's supposed to be. And this is how you claim your power as a woman. That if I sexually objectify myself and make a couple of dollars doing it, then I am a boss chick. I'm on top of the world. I'm doing it big. I'm living my best life. And then you ignore the reality of your life, where your horn culture, your whole phase have left you with nothing but transaction, bitterness, a house full of kids you don't want, and a sagging BBL that you got in your 20s that you didn't keep up, and now that you're in your late 40s, it is almost running down your leg. You get up every morning mad at the world because you got 3 children with 3 men that don't want you and that you don't want. That all them nights out there in them clubs and all running the street, hoeing and doing whatever you got to do to get a couple of dollars here and there, getting a sponsor, a man that's going to take you this place, a man that's going to pay your bill over here, a man that's going to get your hair done over here, and you have nothing to show for it. You have given away every orifice on your body, and you have nothing to show for it. I guess I'd be mad too. You ain't got nothing to show for none of it but stretch marks, a missing hairline, a bad attitude, and bitterness and anger. Thank you, James. That truth is always true no matter how it comes out, and we can't grow without it. True. Thank you, Top Box. The Essence Fest has become Nonsense Fest. Salute to you in India for calling out the BS. Thank you, Shelter. Say, can't believe I forgot to hit the like button when I came to the barbecue. Be cooking. And I love it. I came with hot sauce and bread. Okay, make sure it's that white bread that stick to the top of your mouth. It ain't even barbecue if the bread don't stick. But anyway, you ignore the fact that you 30 something, 40 something, 50 something. You're still in and out of situationships, playing with men and still getting played in your late 50s. You ain't learned nothing. You still running around here at 57 years old talking about what a man did to you and how he played you. You ain't figured out nothing yet. You don't have nothing but emptiness and bitterness and hopelessness. You never figure out how to love nobody, only how to use them, only how to mistreat people, only how to extract what you want out of people. All you know is the transaction. And that go for sex you having with men, to the so-called friendships that you have, to the so-called alliances that you had with the Tea Party people. That was transactional too. And now the rabbit got the gun, now you mad. Aren't you? And all of that, what you go through, you refuse to tie that back to all of the bad decisions that you have made in your life to get to this point. To get to a point where you can go in there and look at 3 children that you bed in your womb for 9 whole months and push them out, and you can look at them with contempt and hatred and disdain, because all you can see in them is their father's face, and you hate their father because you either didn't want him in the first place, or he represents something that you hate about yourself, or you loved him and couldn't have him. And instead of fixing any of it, you'll ruin 5 or 6 generations of family. Casting your demons to each generation. That's where generational curses come from. They're coming from you. Then you'll get up somewhere and sit up and talk about we need to break these generational curses all at the same time, while you won't even face the simple truth about yourself to yourself. In the dark of the night, you won't even do it. You won't be honest with yourself and say the reason that I put my 5th baby father on child support is because I feel so much like a failure that after every time I meet a man and have a baby for him and he don't want me, I'm a failure as a woman. And then I get mad at them for the decisions that I have made and the fact that I couldn't keep them. No matter how low I go on the totem pole, I went from shooting high and aiming high for a better man to I done broke all the way down to the Pookie and the Ray Ray in the hood, and still don't want me. I still don't got what it takes to even keep him around. And he have the audacity to have a standard, and I don't meet that standard, and it's low. You done broke all the way down to get the man that needs you, that needs your little food stamps and the need to eat them little fruit roll-ups on the top of your refrigerator, and you still can't keep him. I guess I'd be mad too. And I'm the pygmy. Thank you so much. King Chris said they're brainwashing us to associate women's clothes and choice, emphasizing their femininity, showing their breasts and thighs, with over carnality, twerking. Women can wear clothes showing off their body parts without being inappropriate sexually. Thank you so very much for your contribution. Greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. Manny Lamont said, many of us are collaborating in our own destruction. You can't say you love God and do the bidding of Lucifer and expect a good life. That is true. Thank you. J.S. Hooper said, what we're seeing is Black women's failure to uphold any semblance of class, dignity, and respectful behavior in their own ranks. Black women's culture is homogenous, no hierarchy or class lines. Maxine Waters, Meg the Stallion. And that's true. And that goes back to those live streams I was doing about the gynocracy has no class. Thank you so much. Thank you, Miss 39 Dina. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. Darren said, and will you look square and will look you square in the face and say, who hurt you? The sheer irony. Boy, the irony. Thank you so much, twin. So 1,000 F boys and men spit on the ground. One person clean it up. Yet Same number of males do that, and any female or woman, and they can't clean their past. Moral of the story, spit sperm looks the same, yet the ground cleans itself. Thank you so very much, sweetheart. And thank you once again, B989X. A lot of Black women are going to fall and rewrite their bitter end. Thank you so much. And thank you, Baker, for the super sticker. Thank you so very much. It make y'all feel better to blame men and to blame the entire world for all of your failures, for all of your problems, rather than take accountability and responsibility for those problems, for those decisions, for those conscious decisions. It's easier to claim that nobody warned you, nobody taught you, nobody told you. No, how many times have we heard that? Well, didn't nobody tell me? Well, did nobody teach me? Well, did nobody? And it's cap. It's lies. Because I'm telling you, India's telling you. Sister Shahrazad Ali been telling you the same thing for 30 years. Black men been telling you the same thing for 50. Louis Farrakhan came and told you about yourself. Iyanla Vanzant came and told you about yourself. And all of the various men and women, whether they're popular or not, whether they had a platform or not, have come to pull your coattail about what you doing. Monique gave you the softest nudge that anybody could give you. And every time somebody come tell you about and teach you about it and try to correct you about it and try to pull your coattail about it and try to warn you about it and try to guide you about it and try to give you foresight about it, you spit in their face. And you cry and you whine to stay exactly where you at. So don't you sit up there and tell that bald head lie that ain't nobody told you nothing. Because if your bald head scallywag mammy didn't tell you, you could have looked on TV and understood that. Like I said, Sister Shahrazad Ali been doing it for 30 years. She comes in and out of her semi-retirement to speak every once and again, to reiterate some stuff that she wrote a book about and took the shots for 30 years ago on your behalf. And your mamas that was young back then, right along with Sister Shahrazad Ali, stabbed her for it. And now here you are. You just as silly as your grandmama. You're just as silly as your mama. Iyanla Vanzant done wrote books. She done did a whole character arc. Because she used to stand against Shahrazad Ali till she realized who y'all were. Then she dedicated 8 years. It was more than that, but 8 years to a TV show that primarily focused on holding you accountable, but also supporting you to get to a better place. And you gave her death threats till she stopped. Mind you, except for Shahrazad Ali, the sisters that I have named would still count themselves as feminists. India would count herself as a feminist. Auntie Iyanla would count herself as a feminist. Do you understand that? So don't you sit here and tell that scalpless lie that didn't nobody never tell you nothing. They've been telling your grandmama. They told your mama. Now they're telling you about the day. You don't listen to nobody. And a hard head make a soft what? Thank you once again, Steve, for the super sticker. Thank you. Biro say it's a privilege to see you preach on my birthday today. Oh, happy birthday, sweetheart. The Kendra keeps speaking the truth, as most Black women cannot see that they've been played by corporations. They sure don't see it. Thank you, Wrench, on behalf of the Free Thinking Brothers. Thank you for your work on the wood. Thank you so much. And thank you, Stardust. And what's interesting is these same demons have the same shot of salvation as those who haven't done anything like these demons. Tell the truth. Thank you so much, Black Goku Zero said. A wise man once said, "You are never responsible for the pain of those who have ignored your counsel." And thank you so much, Norin, for your unwavering support. Thank you so much, sweetheart.
Thank you for supporting me on my show. Okay. I just wanna thank you for helping me on my show. All right.
Thank you so much. Oh, and thank you, DDEC. Say, hey, sis, get them straight. The pure audacity of these lovely ladies, and they can't even fully comprehend the very song lyrics from the very hyenas that they idolize. They do not understand it. And thank you so very much, sweetheart. Thank you once again so very much. Thank you, Robert. So what is the opposite term for a feminist? I don't even know that there is an opposite term necessarily for it. Not one that's in use. Nobody can tell you nothing. Soon as somebody tell you something, you fight tooth and nail to stay exactly where you are, to do exactly what you've been doing. And this is why nobody's coming to save you. This is why nobody wants to help you. This is why nobody wants to come and protect you. You celebrated Brother Kevin Samuel's passing as if that man had actually done something to you. You might not have liked his delivery. You might not have agreed with everything that he said. But when he was talking to them women, he was telling them what they needed to hear rather than what they wanted to hear. And whether they took it or not was their business. But his message was the same. Reevaluate yourself. Go back. Take another look. Think. Think about your decisions that you have made the reason why you in this spot. Stop thinking about what everybody else has done and think about what you have done. How have you contributed to this? Because you can't tell me you've been living your whole life and you don't contribute to your life. Stop lying. And so because can't nobody tell you nothing, it ain't that nobody have not told you nothing, it's that can't nobody tell you nothing. There's a difference. Nobody's going to come to help you because we are realizing that Black women, you are exactly where you want to be and you are doing exactly what you want to do. We've come to that as a group. We've come to the understanding that you are content. We've come to the understanding that you are indeed happy about where you are and who you're not trying to enact any positive changes. You are not trying to get on the right track. You are not trying to self-correct or be corrected. You are not trying to elevate or understand more or get a better grasp on reality and a better handle on things. You're not trying to heal. You're not trying to overcome trauma and negativity and the lost values. You're not trying to do that. You don't even want that. That's the thing. You don't even want it. You don't want to do that. You don't want to be better. Just call a thing a thing. Black women don't want to be better. You don't want to be classy. You don't want to be classy. You don't want to be known as regal, elegant women. And you mad that tea parties is fighting you for a mantle that you abandoned. You only want to hold on to womanhood when it's convenient for you. Let me break that down for a second. I'm gonna read these super chats and then we're gonna break something else down too. Thank you, B989X. Say, Auntie, with all the knowledge you share, YouTube need to stop playing and give your silver degree. You know what? I can't even think about it. I got so much other stuff to do. So much other expansions. We gonna have some meet and greets before, you know what I mean? I'm in New York now. We gonna have some meet and greets. We gonna have some type of events. I'm gonna start expanding outside of YouTube is what's gonna happen. Now is the time. I'm gonna start expanding outside of YouTube. We're gonna have some retreats, some conventions, or whatever it is you want to call them, where we set a destination and we have some learning, some teaching and learning to really put into practice that which we have been talking about for these last few years. We got to actually put these things into a practice. You see what I'm saying? And that's what we're going to start doing. We are going to start expanding outside of YouTube into the real world to touch some other people's lives in a way, because everybody don't tune into YouTube. You see what I'm saying? Some book signings, things like that. Things like that. We definitely are going to, once we get some things together, because a new move kind of those things a little bit for a loop a bit. But once I get my footing, we're going to take off running. Thank you, Z was. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Thank you, Insane Optimist, and hello, and celebrating Kay Samuel's passing. They celebrated a Black woman's son passing on the Mother's Day holiday weekend. Exactly. But they don't even care about that. That's the kicker. They don't care. But thank you so much. Thank you so very much for the support. You're doing what you want to do, and you're where you want to be. You fighting for a mental, like I said, y'all only want womanhood for convenience purposes. Y'all don't actually want to be women. Y'all don't like that title. Y'all don't like that word. Y'all don't like femininity. That ain't changed. I'm not stupid. Y'all ain't all of a sudden changed on no dime. Y'all just be mad when somebody be coming for your little position, something that you think that you are entitled to. That's the only thing. This is just entitlement at this point. Y'all mad because y'all feel entitled to being a woman. But y'all been abandoning that post a long time ago. Y'all want to be women when it's convenient. Y'all want to be women when it's time to go to child support court. Y'all want to be women when it's time to lay a false allegation on a man about rape or about being beat on. Y'all want to be women when it's time to cry to Zaddy about getting some type of, welfare or some type of handout. Y'all want to be women when it's time to cry and whine and be a victim. But y'all don't want to be women. Y'all despise womanhood. Y'all hate them kids y'all birthed out. Y'all hate the men that you can keep and the ones you can't. You hate your position that God put you in. You hate it. You want to be men so bad it hurts you, but you can never be a man. That's why you can identify so closely with what a Tea Party go through, because you got the same yearning for something you will never be as they do. That's why you was two peas in a pod. You want to be men and they want to be you. And ain't now one of you gonna ever get it. It's like a dog chases tail, ain't gonna never catch it. And if he was to ever catch it, you don't know what he want to do with it. Y'all don't want to be no women. Because when women start talking to you about femininity and the true essence of womanhood, you get the fighting and arguing and scrapping and talking crazy out the side of your neck. When we start talking about what a woman really is. Just like I'm going to speak on just like that female. I don't know if y'all seen that clip. That female standing at the altar with a man and won't even submit to what God says she's supposed to submit to in a commitment to a man. She couldn't stop arguing at the altar. We're going to talk about her. Y'all don't want to be no women. Y'all don't like being women. Sister Shahrazad Ali was telling y'all how to be a woman. You don't want to do that. Auntie Iyanla Van Zant tell you how to be a woman. You don't want to do that. She was talking about, she was on a Breakfast Club after that whole Ebony K thing. And she was talking about, just the over masculinity. Why you got to be so hard? Why you got to be. She was even talking about when y'all don't want to follow no instruction. Iyanla said a couple of things in that Ebony K thing. Because Ebony K was like, well, would you marry a bus driver? And Iyanla said, yeah, actually I would. He'd sign a prenup, but I would. And y'all need me to understand that. Y'all understand why she said that. That with all of what I got, I would actually put myself under the jurisdiction of a man that make less than me because the relationship is not based on that. That's not actually where the relationship is based and has nothing to do with his level of masculinity or his ability to lead. She actually said that his leadership had nothing to do with that because I actually would elevate him. I actually would help him. I actually would help him elevate. Because if you get with a man that may not have what you have, especially if you somebody like her with millions of dollars, but you get with a man with masculinity and vision, all he might need is a little nudge. He can get there. Y'all can't take nobody's instruction. Now that was simple. That actually was simple. But y'all be so caught in money and the transaction, and you can't have a relationship unless this amount of dollars is being made and spent on you, and you don't even have half of that. Y'all be running around here talking about men that's got to make 6 figures, and you running around here at the poverty line. Talking about what a man got to make. Spell $100,000. Off the top of your head, how many zeros come before the comma? Huh? Off the top of your head. Y'all running around here making McDonald's money. Talking about what a man got to have. You ain't never seen more than a couple of $100 coupled together at one time, talking about what a man got to have. And all he asks you to have is some femininity and some sense, and you can't even put that together. If y'all don't go ahead on, if y'all don't knock that off. Thank you so much once again, sweetheart. Norrin, thank you, sweetheart.
Thank you for supporting me on my show. Okay. I just wanna thank you for helping me on my show. All right.
Thank you so much once again, Nora. And thank you, Brian. Thank you so much for all of y'all generous contributions. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you so much, Timothy. Said they willingly submitted to debauchery as attempts were made to inform them of the harm their behaviors was causing our people. They willingly served the interest of Iblis. They definitely did. Thank you, Barry. Said leave them to their fate. I agree. Thank you, Israel, for the super sticker. Thank you, Bureau. Said IG gals want guys to hit the cash out. Exactly. Running around here talking about what a man got to have for you. You only want to be women for the transaction of women, the convenience of women, the convenience of being a woman in a gynocentric society. That's all you want. You don't like being a woman. You don't want to be a woman, because if none of them things existed, if you couldn't go get a welfare check for being a woman, if you couldn't go get a business loan that was just for women, if you couldn't get into a school based on being a woman, if you couldn't, hamstring a man because you were a woman, if you couldn't go to the child support court because you was a woman, if you couldn't call the popos on him and act like he was doing something to you and get him arrested because you was a woman, you wouldn't want to be a woman. Because you look down on the women that was women when none of that stuff was available to them, your grandmothers and your great grandmothers, and those women were women, and you called them stupid and you called them slaves. And even back then, the women of the boomer generation that was out here sleeping around, because all of them wasn't poly purebreds, they still could keep a whole husband for 30, 40 years. They could still do it. Still better women than you. Because at the very least, even if they was mouthy and stuff like that, they could cook a meal. She knew how to keep that stuff down, not in public, not shaming her family. She knew how to do that. And at the very least, for his troubles, he could come home to some collard greens, cornbread, yams, fried chicken, and some Kool-Aid. He could at least come home to that. And he knew that he would, at the very minimum, get the big piece of chicken first. Before she fed your little crumb snatching brothers and sisters. She would feed that man at the head of the table first. I don't care if they just got through arguing. Still kept a man in that house coat and in them rollers, betting you can with all your booty out and your lace front. But she was stupid and she was a slave. Girl, bye. Thank you, Lawrence, for saying, hey, sis, from 100% double X chromosomal woman since birth. I hear you. How you doing, sister? Said, love your content. Congratulations on your marriage. Thank you so much, sweetheart. I appreciate you. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Before we go, Sundays, I'm going to be reviewing an episode of co-parenting with the Sperlings. If you are not familiar with that, go and check back from last week. I'm going to be uploading them every Sunday like clockwork. It's going to be a review of the shows in order. So you definitely don't want to miss that, because Co-Parenting with the Sperlings is a new show that airs on Thursday, and it is created by our dear brother Dennis Sperling. It is a reality show style TV show that depicts his co-parenting with his ex-wife Stephanie in raising their sons, and all of the different nuances that go along with that, the ups, the downs, the funny parts, the serious parts, all of those different things. I'm going to be giving my feminine perspective on what we see in each episode, and it's definitely going to be entertaining. Please go and subscribe to Dennis Sperling's channel. It airs each Thursday. Okay. So you definitely don't want to miss his show. I think it's a very wholesome take, a very good take on a difficult subject, which is co-parenting, or how to continue to have a decent family dynamic after the dissolution of a marriage. So I think that's very relevant and very pertinent in today's climate. So definitely check out the show. And then after you check out the show on Thursdays, check out the reviews on Sunday. This is going to be done by yours truly. And definitely tune in for those. All right. And we're going to be doing some special live streams this weekend. So be on the lookout for those, because we're not done cooking for July. Oh, a little bit of an update. I had a tiny little setback with the internet installation. So if you see the video get fuzzy at some point going forward, just know that I didn't get the internet installed. I had to resolve an issue. It's resolved now. I had to reschedule it. It was a whole big thing, but it's not too bad. So definitely wanted to keep y'all updated on that. And last thing but not least, jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. So if you have been watching but you have not hit the subscribe button, please do. All right. Once again, I'm your hostess, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.